Hello and welcome back to CAPACIT8 The Preview. I'm Emele Tuinona, a Senior Marketing and Communications Officer at Northern Queensland Primary Health Network. In this preview, we're talking about storytelling, what it really means and why it matters, and how it can support you across your project, team or service. As part of the CAPACIT8 program, when we delivered storytelling module, we explored the idea between head and heart. Head, speaking to logic, evidence and strategy. So this speaks to data, outcomes and facts that show your program is effective and answer questions. What did you do? How many people did you reach? And what were the results? The other idea is heart. It's all about emotion, connection and lived experience. The stories that show why your work matters on a human level. Today I'm joined by Jackie and Deb from Talk About It Tuesday, an initiative I deeply admire for its meaningful work in suicide prevention. Their impact reaches across Cape York and Northern Queensland, and through a grant and a national campaign, their message now resonates across Australia. Deb and Jackie, did you want to introduce yourself and the organisation that you have now created?
I'm Debbie Jackson and Talk About It Tuesday. Jackie's much better explaining it.
Yes, I'm Jackie. We initially started Talk About It Tuesday to connect with other families who'd been through a suicide loss, and we just really wanted to encourage people to talk about suicide and suicide loss, because there's such a huge stigma attached to it. It's like in the past has been a taboo subject, so we wanted to change that.
And you're both based in Cape York?
Yeah.
I live in Cowan and Deb lives on a cattle property just north of Cowan.
Ups and downs, interesting name. And you are both part of our CAPACIT8 program, and some of our staff and external facilitators delivered that through NQPHN. How did you find it, and has it been impactful at all in the work you are doing?
Most definitely. We started off wanting to do women wellness camps at my property, and then one of the families needed to be in town closer, so we wanted to get started and happening, and we found that they've been working better doing a one-day workshop with the families, and it's such a huge impact on every family because we've been able to follow up with each one. We keep going, which has been great. Sorry, I probably rattled on a bit more there.
During that, we kind of learned that our goals and ideas might change along the way too, which they did. But also, we really valued the guidance because we'd never done funding grant before. And also we found very valuable, like measuring the success of our little project. Yeah. And we just simply did that by doing a feedback sheet from each of our programs, and we got our participants to give us feedback on every aspect of the workshop. And then from there, we know what we can do better.
Oh, that's great to hear. I'll have to pass that feedback on, because I don't think it's a not-so-little project anymore. It's grabbing national attention.
We didn't have that intention. It was more that we wanted to just have a platform that people could come and talk openly, because sometimes being in the community, you can't talk openly about it. The body language just is like they take a step away. So we wanted somewhere that we could all become and be comfortable and not be judged.
Yeah, great. I know you just said you're doing one-day workshops, but are you still holding the camps for the women?
Well, as yet, we haven't been able to do a full camp.
Yeah.
But we've also had a rethink on that too, because eventually in the future we might. But at this time, like for Deb and I, the one-day workshops are good because it's quite emotional. And I don't know how we'd go with 2 days at the moment. So I think we will eventually build up to that. So just for our own sort of self-care, we've just stuck to the one-day workshops at the moment.
That's great that you brought up self-care, and that's something I wanted to talk about today because it requires so much of yourself and your personal stories. What do you both do for your wellness or your workplace wellness? I only bring up workplace wellness because it's one of our other topics that we discuss through our CAPACIT8 The Preview and the project, and you guys might not consider your initiative or your project a workplace, but you are putting in the work. So that's why, I address it in such a way. But what do you both do for your own wellness?
I love music, so music seems to be a big part of me. Reading. It's just some downtime, like I've got lots of dogs at home, so to run them is I just get in the buggy and I just chill out. I may do about 60 laps around the house, but they're still, it's therapeutic for me to do that. And I'm doing these courses, these workshops. I'm learning new things for myself because we're big on personal medicine, sorry.
Yeah.
Jackie's great with that. So we talk about that a fair bit in our workshops. And Jackie, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Deb and I usually, after we've done each event, we kind of do a little debrief on it and talk about maybe some things that have, activated some emotions in us too, because, when you hear other stories that are similar to yours, it can be activating. So we always have a little talk about that. And for me personally, I like to create to get away from that heavy subject that's forever. It's always there. It's not going to go away for us, but just having those few hours of just creating something or writing or painting or doing something fun.
Can I just add that also we found a common theme was getting back into nature, like everybody takes a walk or goes gardening. We found that was a very common theme, wasn't it, with all of us?
So just the next question. So now that you've had national visibility through your Qantas campaign, what advice, or do you have advice for other grassroots organisations or community groups or mothers like yourself out in rural, remote communities to upscale or ways to bring your vision to life? Do you have any tips?
I think the most important thing is being consistent. Like with our little Facebook group, it's consistently every day putting something up there, just consistency. It's only little, but I think just doing something small every day to try and reach your goal, try to get your message across is really important. And the other thing is sometimes we're both quite shy people, but sometimes we've had to be a little bit bold and just get out there and get in people's faces sometimes. And and not be shy to ask for advice and help. Like this is something we never thought a journey we never thought we'd be on. So we're no experts, but we're quite happy to ask for help and advice.
You talked about being consistent on social media, Facebook or whatever it might be for everyone. Do you have a content plan for your social media or do you post as you go?
No, we pretty much post as we go.
We try to be as open as we can be. If we expect other people to open up to us, we have to be open too. I struggle with that a little bit more. Jackie's got very influential with her. She can flow,
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit more. I'm getting braver.
That's good to hear. You both have different strengths that you draw upon. Sounds like to keep the fire burning and keep the ball rolling with this initiative. And I just had a question off of getting attention from, I guess, Qantas. How did you get into their magazine?
We applied for one of their grants.
Yep.
Really, we just wanted some money to produce our little anxiety booklets and maybe expand a bit on our merchandise.
Yep.
While we were reading through the grant, we saw the advertising part of it too. And we thought, well, why not? Just let's give it a try. Like, you know, if they can help us get our message across, well, that's, you know, all that can happen is we won't get the grant. So we gave it a go. Yeah, just took the opportunity.
Yeah, that's great advice. Just give it a go, because you never know what's going to come of it, or the opportunities or the doors that will open. So it's good to hear that has worked out really well for you guys.
Yeah, it has. And, you know, they've done a little video too for us, and a 90-second video with our message, and that will come out soon too. But, you know, we could never have afforded to do that, you know.
No.
So it's just amazing.
We didn't even expect it to be this big. We're just rolling with the flow, you could say. We're finding our feet along the way.
Yeah. Well, like, not only are they helping you with your program delivery or what it might be, they're helping you with the marketing of it and framing it up and framing your story up, telling your head and heart story. So which leads me into my next question. What's next for Talk About It Tuesday? Have new doors open for you guys, or do you see it going in another direction, or are you building on what you have going at the moment?
I think we'll just keep building on what we have at the moment. Like, those workshops, Deb and I are so passionate about those, because we're connecting with other women, and hopefully eventually we'll do something for men too. But we really want to see those happening all across the Cape. We've only done them in Cowan so far. So we really want to see that expand to all across the Cape. And we want to try and plug too for grief counselling in the Peninsula, because, you know, there's a lot of people that are suffering through grief of many different things. And, you know, it'd be great to have grief counsellors coming up and offering their services up here. And also just trying to empower each community to start their own little
grief
group, you know, to support each other.
And I was just wondering, with your program, have you seen it being adopted in other communities, like Talk About It Tuesday or something similar? Have other community groups reached out to you guys for advice?
We've, like, everyone in the Cape kind of has got on board with, like,
wearing a shirt
or doing some kind of a activity on a Tuesday. But yeah, it'd be great to get more things happening in more places.
We've had a bit to do with Rio Tinto. They've sort of taken on wearing the shirts on a Tuesday, and
they've put lots of you know, the RFDS wellbeing booklets and things in their accommodation and mess areas in the mine sites and stuff like that too, which, you know, has been great. Yeah.
Because you initially pushed for getting the phone numbers in the rooms, Lifeline and everyone, because they sort of put them up in their mess areas, and we sort of said, well, that's not the best spot for them. It's when they step back into their rooms in a FIFO situation that's when they're most loneliest, is when they shut the door to their room to go to bed after talking to the wife and the kids. So Jackie was very inspirational in getting that happening too.
That's good to hear that you're also advocates in this space, not just, I guess, in the community with the mothers, but also with the minors as well, to see where they need it and supporting them in that way.
We've had a lot of schools and things too have come on board, you know, to do something. You know, we did last year I think we did little kindness koalas. We sent them out to all the schools in the Cape to try and encourage them to put kindness on their reward systems and things like that too. We've had a few schools, you know, come back and give us beautiful feedback and stories from the kids about being kind. So that was beautiful as well. Yeah.
We did a talk at the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done a couple of little talks here and there.
Workplace talks, yeah.
Well, it sounds like you both have been very proactive in creating new, I guess, activities, and with the koalas, sounds like a different avenue that you can reach and put out your message in another way. So I have one last question for you ladies. How did you turn your initiative or this idea into a call to action? Talk About It Tuesday is so catchy. Do you have advice on coming up with names, or did it just roll off your tongue? Or what was the light bulb idea, how you got to Talk About It Tuesday?
Well, I think Deb and I were saying that, we both lost our sons on a Tuesday, and that how difficult it was when you started to talk about our sons. You could kind of see people really uncomfortable. And, we said we need to start something for others like us that, they know that you've been through the loss, so they feel more comfortable to talk. And that's how Talk About It Tuesday, we want to be able to talk about our children. And because they both passed on a Tuesday was kind of how that started.
It was, and then doing our page, we have found so many others that have joined us and have said that, yes, my son or daughter passed on a Tuesday as well. So it's just flowed.
Yeah. And it sounds like you'd had something in common, I guess, with this community that you've built. Yeah, and it's resonating with so many more people across the country.
It's like every parent, you want to talk about your child, and just because they've died by suicide, they were still
here.
They were still here. We still have beautiful memories of them, and yeah, we just want people to know it's okay. You can talk about them.
Yeah. I've had quite a few people just come up to be, they feel comfortable to talk to me about it. I have lots of people pass through my house, and they've all come to home and they've all opened up. I've got a camp for men, like workers, and they all, sit and have a yarn. So, yeah, I think it's not just, we work well together, getting it happening, to getting people talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. And so what I'm hearing is resonating with your community and working really well within a team and drawing on your strengths, both to bring this initiative to life. Thank you, Deb and Jackie, for joining us today. And we hope our viewers or anyone watching today gets something out of this. To help you get started, we've included a downloadable worksheet that will help you think about your head and heart story. Remember, every organisation has a story worth sharing. And when told with purpose and authenticity, your story can open doors and new opportunities to stronger community support and possibly grant opportunities. Thank you for joining us on CAPACIT8 The Preview. We'll see you next time.